Are you bullish on the Amazon market? There's a lot of changes lately. We talk about this quite often, and I was interested in your opinion. But do you feel the changes in the adaptations Amazon's making to the fees and services and the policies and even the coming Cosmo updates and stuff? What do you feel about all those changes?
I feel the person who is selling on Amazon has to be always looking for new things, maybe going to Amazon conferences, going into certain groups. There are a lot of groups about sellers that help each other. They have a barrier of entry too, so they have to make certain amounts of money to be in those groups. But we get our information from newsletters, from those kind of groups, because even if you're looking into Amazon directly, you can't really know everything all the time. You can miss some things. Even right now, if Amazon removes your variations, you try to make your products into a variation, you're gonna be suspended. That's a thing that we know from Amazon community, people who have experienced that, and it's happening to a lot of people right now. So, that kind of information, you have to be always looking for it. There are also with the higher fees, with the new FBA changes, you have to look into everything. And I think selling on Amazon is becoming harder and harder because if you look in selling on Amazon a few years back, it was a lot easier. It was cheaper. You had less competition. Now it's harder year by year. But I think if you're up to date with everything, you look into the new stuff, you're gonna be okay.
Yeah, well, if we can ask that question for your experience, I've heard the same scuttlebutt about the variation problem, and one of the things I noticed about that was a common theme of people using AI to sort of duplicate the variations with images, but not actually showing that there's a true product duplication. What are you seeing in that variation issue? Because it's pretty relevant and pretty recent, actually.
Okay, so I haven't really gotten into why it happens to people, but
Mhm.
I think that if you have a real variation of something and not trying different tactics to boost your product, you're not gonna have a problem. But a lot of people are trying a lot of different things, and it's kind of playing with Amazon's policies. So even now, if you make, let's say, 10 ASINs in the same product and you differentiate it by a little bit, it's still on the edge of their policies. So maybe you're gonna have a problem, maybe you're not gonna have a problem. If you go always by the rules, you're of course not gonna get a problem with especially the variations.
Yeah, so the shortcuts are kind of coming to an end. I mean, we've done this long enough that so many people have been taking shortcuts, and Amazon has kind of turned a blind eye. In some instances, you're like, well, why are they picking on that thing that wasn't such a big deal, and they're leaving all these other people doing this stuff was breaking the terms of service. But it seems like they're making a concerted effort to really clean it up and force the changes in the seller marketplace by fees. They're forcing the changes through AI and image and graphic changes, of course, to variations. If you just created an image graphic variation and didn't really show segmentation or differentiation, you're getting caught. So in other words, there's a lot of these. Am I wrong? Because it seems to me that it is just cleaning up a lot of this nonsense that people have been getting away with for years now.
Yeah, but a lot of agencies have been using those, let's say, hacks
Huh.
for easier boosts. So I think almost every person that can get away with something will do it if it's technically by the rules.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of people have been doing variations that aren't really variations, so they can boost up their rank altogether.
Correct. Or
And
jacking
they're
the variations to keep the reviews flowing for products that weren't exactly the same.
yeah, will make
Hijacking listings for the review process. That's been what I've seen.
yeah going on Vine, taking 10 products, combining the variation that shares the reviews. Then you go
Yep.
into advertising only one product. That
Right.
one product brings the whole variation up there. That's a thing that people have always been doing this, but I think now it's gonna be harder if you don't really have real variation.
In other words, you have to build the business professionally and you have to do it within the TOS and actually build an e-commerce company. Not what we call in our world a side hustle or hobby business that has growth hacks is the primary way you're going to make the money work. That's
Yeah, you have to
right.
build something stable. If you're on Amazon, you're going to be spending a lot of money on advertising, and it's a whole business. It's not a side hustle. And people
That,
who take it as a side hustle don't really make money from Amazon because they don't really rank their products. So they mostly spend everything that they make. Some of them are even at a huge loss. So you
yeah.
have to take it seriouser.
Yep. I agree 100%. Well, very well said. Is there anything I didn't ask during this time so far that I should have brought up or asked during our conversation?
No, I might add something that's really been going on lately is that Amazon kind of goes into a verification process. So a lot of people might be having verification issues,
Yeah.
and we've seen it happening a lot lately. So For the people that have verification issues, don't think something is gonna happen. It just randomly pops up from Amazon. So they, at a certain time frame, they go in and check a batch of accounts. So let's say they have to do this, and they check a bunch of accounts, and they're gonna be asking for some information, some documents.
Yeah.
Again, that's something that's going on lately. And
Correct. Yeah, very well.
It's happening to a lot of people.
Definitely thank you for bringing that up, because it is something that has got a couple of our clients messed up at this moment. Even though they did everything right, the verification engine didn't validate what they did, and they're having to go back and get it fixed as fast as they can. So more trouble with growth capacity and using AI to solve human problems, and it's not always perfect. Doesn't make no sense why certain
yeah, I
things
think
happen.
I think it's far from perfect, and you
Yep.
really, you need to check everything, because even let's say a dot or a space can
Yeah.
make Amazon reject your product, or documents.
Yes, absolutely. Just got to cross the T's and dot the I's as best as you possibly can from the very beginning. Well said.